Sisters and brothers, Mindy here. Um, I put a post up on Friday, which was my 41st birthday, about one of my stories. We all have stories that we tell ourselves. Most of these stories are um, like deep, dark secrets that we don't want anyone else to know about. Some of our story has to do with our personality, about our jobs, about the things we do. But the stories that I'm talking about are the beliefs that keep us limited, that keep us small, that hide our light and our love. And so today, what I want to do is share with you a little bit about what is going on in our world right now, how it affects us, and how our stories can either set us free or keep us playing small. And I don't want that for you. I want you to play big. I want you to be freaking amazing as shit. All right. So let me be real honest with you. On Friday, I felt freaking fantastic sharing that part of my story. But it was like letting the world in on a secret I hadn't told just about anybody. I have shared that part of my story with a few select people, but I have not shared that with the whole world. And on Friday I did. And the people that it surprised the most were the people who are part of my extended family and my close family. So my siblings, my cousins, and they didn't get it, which is cool. It's a big statement that I made. And it doesn't mean that it's true. It's just something that I have been telling myself for most of my life. And because I have been telling myself for most of my life that my family didn't love me, they didn't understand me, that I wasn't wanted, that truly freaking affected me. And yeah, I'm a well-functioning, high-functioning adult human being. I'm sure most of you are as well. But we all have these things that we tell ourselves that we don't let anyone else know about us. And that's a big problem, okay? By me sharing my story, I didn't want to blame anybody. It just simply is what I have believed. Everybody in my life, especially my family, they did their best. They did their best to love me. They did their best to love me in a way that they could, in a way that really, at their consciousness level, they were able to. And I received that love at the consciousness level that I was at. It doesn't mean that they didn't love me. I got lots of love when I was a kid. I got lots of good things when I was a kid. I had plenty of great experiences. And yet I just felt like I was misunderstood. I didn't feel like anybody really got me. And that continued through adulthood. And this part of my story has been really freaking hard to admit to myself. Yeah, that this was a belief that I had. And I think when you get to those beliefs that are hard to admit to yourself, and they're the ones that you don't want anybody else to know about, those are the ones that can really make a big positive impact in your life if you're willing to look at them, face them, and heal them. Yeah. Whew. It was like full freedom on Friday. Felt like I was embodying my whole freaking self, my sweet self, my divine soul. She was taking the driver's seat, and it was great because I was letting people in on a secret that I hadn't shared with anybody, except for a small few. And then on Saturday, I will be real honest, my gremlins, ooh, they said hello, and they tried to take the reins back. On Saturday, I worked my ass off in my yard, clearing an oak grove. We have scrub oaks in our yard, and I just needed to clean those suckers up. And oh my gosh, my mind was just reeling all freaking day on Saturday. Hey, Eva. On Saturday, while I was manually working in my yard, my mind said, what if you really hurt those people? What if you did something and they reject you? What if what you just said makes people not understand you even more? And the thing is with these stories, they're related to our ego, our human self. And the human self's job is to keep you safe. All right? It's to keep you safe. That's it. And it uses past experiences to base its validity of safety on. So it says if you've been harmed in the past, then that will probably happen again. And I don't want that to happen to you. So I'm going to keep you safe. I'm going to pull you back, and I'm not going to let you be your true self. Can we relate to this? Yeah. When your true self does something, it feels so good, so in alignment. And you want to feel that. But the ego self loves its place of power, and it has been driving our vehicle, this life of ours, for most of our lives. Probably, we have lived in those times when we felt so adventurous, so free, so open, and then we come back and we tighten up again, and we forget who we are, and we just get by. That's the job of the ego, is to keep you safe. And this story of mine kept me safe by saying you're not loved by your family. So you don't need to invest a lot of time or energy into that. That's not going to reward you. Because I felt like I did that a lot when I was young, just trying to get people to really love and appreciate me, which then compounded into this pattern of perfectionism that said, well, if they don't love me, if I'm like this, then if I do things better, then I will be better and they'll love me more, right? So then it like compounded into this perfectionist pattern. I am a recovering perfectionist, by the way. And then that said, well, you have to do in order to get anything done. So then that reinstated an ancestral pattern that said you have to work your ass off in order to get by, just to get by, not to thrive, just to get by. And these patterns compound themselves as they roll down the hill of our lives. And it doesn't matter what your pattern is, it's keeping you small. Some people believe that they're too much. Other people think that they're not enough. Some people convince themselves that they're fat and ugly no matter what they look like. I mean, they could be anorexic because they feel fat and ugly. There's so many stories that we've told ourselves that we will never be a success, that we could never, ever be loved by anybody else. And all of our stories have an impact in our lives. And those stories are lying to us. They are lying to you because they want to keep you safe and they want to keep you small so that you don't hurt yourself again. But only in pain and struggle can we really learn to love and grow and expand. And forgiveness is one of the greatest gifts that this world has given us. When you free yourself up by forgiving another person, you release bondage from that other person. You become more and more you. I don't know what my video looks like to you guys, but to me, it's all crazy, jumpy. I hope it's okay. Anyways, what I'm trying to get at here is that when you start to see and understand your stories, you have the ability to start to choose. Does that story serve you? And if it doesn't serve you, kick it to the curb, right? You've got to get yourself out of these self-imposed chains. They bind us, they limit us, they weigh us the fuck down. Yeah. Oh, and it feels so exhausting to have to carry these stories around with us. This belief that I'm not good enough, that if my family can't love me, then who in the hell else would? Or if they can't see me for who I am, that makes me a shit teacher and nobody else is going to be able to really believe me. That's crazy talk. And they didn't put that in my head. I put that in my head. I owned that for a really long time. And now I'm ready to stop with this charade. And I want that for you as well, to stop with the charade of your lives. You don't have to be anyone else but yourself. And if you can be yourself, then you were being just right. You were doing it on purpose, just the way it's supposed to be done. And the really interesting thing about this is that all of the experiences that we've had, there's nothing wrong with them, right? Yeah, we have all been through really crap stuff. Some of us have been through physical abuse, sexual abuse. Some of us have been through emotional abuse, limited by our parents, or maybe our parents were trying to live through us. I mean, there's so many things that we've all been through. Each of us have our own stories. And those stories, while true, are totally irrelevant They're totally irrelevant because they do not need to serve you in a limiting capacity. They can serve you as an expansive capacity. And when you start to know your story, you know yourself and you are taking 100% responsibility for your life. You're no longer blaming it on anybody else. No one else is to blame for what's gone on in your life. You've had experiences. There have been people who have been a part of those experiences. And yet some people take the abuse and they blossom from it and help other people and serve the world more. And other people, it totally locks them in place as if it is still happening. And that sucks. This is a really hard place to live. You don't have to live there. You can crack open that shell and let your light shine. That's whatever you've been through, you survived it already. And now is the opportunity to learn and grow from it, to forgive the past, to forgive the person from the past, and to really empower yourself in the present moment. You have a purpose that only you can fulfill in this life. Your divine mission is calling you. Your divine mission is calling you. You can feel it. You can hear it. She is with you. He is with you. And they're asking you to get over all the stuff you've been through and to stop letting it continue to affect you every single day of your life. Even if you're really high functioning, you might just feel like you're faking it, like you're putting on a mask every day just to get by. And that's no way of living. Survival is not thriving. Yeah. I want you to thrive, to absolutely thrive in who you are, and to use the past as the cause of who you are now and who you are becoming, not to affect you, to keep you small and limited and pain and is stuck in a loop of pain. Right? Don't you want to be free of that? I know that I have really desired freedom in my life. Freedom of my own bondage, of my own junk. Freedom from the stories that this mind puts into my head. It's exhausting to have to keep living in those same loops. And when you start to see the loops, start to see the belief systems, love that the belief system initials, they're BS. Total bullshit belief systems, yeah? We can use them to create a container for our life, but if that container keeps us from being our fullest, we need to bust through that container a little bit. Open it up. Let some fresh air and some light in, right? All right, it takes a lot of courage to be able to do this, and it really helps to have an amazing guide on the way. I've had some phenomenal teachers help me to be able to see myself more clearly and to see through the, I don't know, like the veil that our mind puts over our beliefs. Sometimes they feel so true that you can't even distinguish them. It's like they just feel like they're a part of your skin. They're a part of you. It's like seeing the trees through the forest or the forest through the trees. You can't quite tell which is which. But when you start to have clarity about what has been driving you, what has been motivating you from a lower vibration scale, most of the time it's fear of something, but what has been that motivating energy? And being real honest. Totally honest and totally kind and compassionate for yourself. You've done nothing wrong. You've done nothing wrong. And now you have the opportunity to raise your vibration and take yourself to the next level, to embrace your truth of what you've been living, and then to step beyond what you've been believing. Whoa, that sets you free. That wakes you up. That makes you feel like I'm taking this life on and I'm so ready for it. No matter what shows up, I'm going for it. And everybody who raises their vibration still has bad shit that happens to them, but we have a different perspective when you've raised your vibration, when you're real honest with yourself and you know the buttons that people push, you know what makes you tick. When you can recognize that and then move through that energy to see that, oh, you know what? That other person, they're suffering too. And it's not always about me. Can you believe it? Your ego wants you to think it's always about you. But most of the time, it's not. The way somebody responds to you is because what they're going through. And can you have a little compassion for that person while you have a little soft, loving compassion for yourself? Like when you see yourself truly, you set yourself free. That's what I want for you. That's what I want all of these beautiful people in our group to have. That's what I want all of our people who are waking up on this planet to experience. And whether you work with me or not is not the biggest thing. I'm here to serve. And if I can serve you, awesome. And if I can't serve you and you have another guide, yes. And if you feel like you can do this on your own, great. But when you are ready to really open up to who you are, to see these patterns clearly, and to get out of the lies that we keep telling ourselves. I mean, seriously, people, we have overcome so much. And why in the world would you ever let what you've overcome limit you? Why would you do that to yourself? We all do it to ourselves, but aren't you tired of it? Aren't you tired of waking up feeling like you're not good enough? Feeling like you don't have the energy or the verve to do this anymore? I know that it's exhausting. I know from personal experience how tiring and worn out you can feel because I've been there and I've overcome this stuff. And the more that we embrace who we are and the things that do make us tick, these beliefs, these stories that we tell ourselves, then we can overcome them and step more and more into our freedom. We are our own bondage. We are our own liberators. The people who want to hold us back are just a reflection of what's going on the inside. The inner world is a reflection of the outer world. And the outer world is a reflection of what's going on the inside. We have to be able to see clearly. I want you to be able to take your colored glasses off and see more and more clearly. All right, so from this video, I do invite you, if you're inspired and you want to learn how to do this and you want a guide who's been there and done that and walks her talk, go ahead and go to mindyarbuckle.com/talk and set up a breakthrough session with me, heart to heart, totally free. I am here to serve you. And after our talk, our breakthrough talk, if I can give you clarity and it feels like you want to work with me, yes, I will tell you that. And if not, I'll tell you that too. I'm real honest about this stuff. I'm not for everybody, but I do know that I can serve and I can help you through whatever it is that you're struggling with. And you can take this to the next level. You can bust through your career. You can be an amazing mom. You can be a wife, whatever it is that you want to do, whatever you want to accomplish. These stories are holding you back from it. And it is time to wake up to your real divine purpose and really embody your light, your love, and your spirit. All right. I love all of you guys, and I will be with you on Friday. If you have any questions or comments or really distinctions from this video, please feel free to share them with the group, and I will comment or I'll reply to all comments. Again, love you guys so much. Talk to y'all soon.